One of the greatest prodigies of all time, Magnus Carlsen, is the current chess world champion. He is so skilled at chess that he has gone 125 games without dropping a game. What transpired when Magnus Carlsen, the greatest chess player, accepted Bill Gates' challenge to a match as the richest man in the world? Buckle up as we dive in to discover how the match went against Magnus and Bill Gates. With a rating of 1200, Bill Gates is among the top 75 chess players in the world and is no stranger to the game. To put out some statistics, he accepted this one-on-one challenge from Magnus Carlsen, but it was clear he had no idea what would happen. Around 2,800 people rate Carlsen. Magnus Carlsen starts the game with 30 seconds on his clock, while Bill Gates gets 2 full minutes after starting the match and setting their pieces, which should make things a little more interesting, since if you are rated 400 points better than someone, you will likely win every time in a serious game. Gates starts with e4, a reasonably frequent opening that becomes less popular as you increase the ratings because of the incredibly effective Scandinavian defense, which Magnus will play shortly in a modified form. Magnus responds with a knight to e6, preventing Gates from moving another piece ahead and defending the other middle square. Bill Gates takes the next action. Knight walks to f3 to continue working on his pieces, and Magnus answers by bringing his knight out to c6. As a result of Carlsen's Nimzovich defense, the board quickly found itself in a mirror scenario. It might make you feel at ease for a moment to have your pieces in the same position as the world champion chess player. But when you compare the posture of the two players, it's obvious that Magnus feels much more at ease slouching forward, while Gates is in a more upright, rigid position, taking a few seconds to consider his next move. Magnus Carlsen reacts to Gates' decision to develop his bishop by advancing it to d3 by advancing his other knight to f6. On the board, the strength of both players is almost equal, but this is where Gates makes his first error. Offer Carlsen a trade while pawning to d5. At first look, trading pieces here could seem advantageous, but by placing the queen here, Magnus can develop his queen for free on one of the board's 4 strongest squares. He threatens the bishop on d3 and the knight on f3 by positioning the queen here. On the other hand, Gates is not amused by this and goes out with c3 again, threatening to seize Magnus' queen. A strategy starts to take shape in Carlsen's thoughts as he pushes his queen to h5. There are currently 7 seconds left on Carlsen's timer, and it is obvious that Gates is taking his time to consider some more advanced moves. He resolves to save your king in response by doing so. Casting your king to safety is usually a great move since it removes it from dangerous locations and places your rook in a solid position in the middle of the board, where it can quickly develop into stronger squares. But just like Dr. Strange, it's obvious from Magnus Carlsen's quick movements that he's already seen every conceivable ending of this fight. The beginning of Gates' demise occurs in the Avengers, when Carlsen raises his bishop to g4. He reacts by raising his pawn to a3 and indicating that he will kick the bishop away. Even though what occurs next might seem like a mistake, Carlsen has it all planned out. He shifts his knight to square e5 and offers to trade his bishop for a pawn. Gates gladly accepts the exchange, since he sees this as a fantastic opportunity to profit against the world champion. Most players would accept a pawn for a knight exchange any day of the week. Even Bill can be heard saying, "Really?"
Really?
As if he is startled that Carlsen would commit such a novice error. As a response, Carlsen uses his knight to seize the pawn. The game has already reached its conclusion, but it is obvious that no one other than the current world champion is aware of it now. Carlsen's knight, which appeared to be sitting free, is taken by Bill Gates as he moves his knight to f5. However, by doing so, he also sealed his fate after finding there was nowhere further to move. Handshakes are exchanged and Gates and Carlsen chuckle together. Magnus Carlsen, a talented and seasoned competitor, can put on an astounding show, don't you think so? What do you think about this game? Leave your answers in the comments section below. And don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Thank you for watching. We'll see you guys soon.